Hi, it's Dr. Lassane, and I'm back for one last screencast to take you through one final um, kind of look at the assignments that are due in a little bit more detail than the overviews. And you'll see that there are still two tabs at the top of the page: annotated bibliographies, textbook discussion, and these have that more detailed approach to each of the assignments. So if you click on annotated bibliographies, you're going to see 5 sub-tabs, one for each of the annotated bibliographies. Click on any one of them, and of course it makes sense to click on annotated bibliography number 1 first. You'll see that they're Word documents that you can save to your own desktop should you like, or you can simply open right here at the website. They'll pop open in a separate window so you don't have to travel away from the website at all. And what they'll do is provide you with some more information in order to accomplish this particular assignment. As you can see, annotated bibliography number 1 should contain 10 Caldecott or Caldecott honor winning books, and those books should cover the 50-year range. I talked about that in the screencast right before this, but basically you're to look at Caldecott and or honor winning books, not just from the current year, but to go back and look at books from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the first decade, of course, of this century as well. So in order to do that, you're going to go to www.ala.org/ALSC. ALSC stands for the Association for Library Services to Children. This is the Children's Division of the American Library Association. From there, you're going to click on Awards, Grants, and Scholarships. Under there, you're going to click on Book and Media Awards, and there you're going to click on the Caldecott Medal. And it takes you to the Caldecott winners for this year. Of course, you can look at any of those for the 2012 year, I should say for last year, because we will have new announcements of these in January of 2013, right about the time this class starts. So you can certainly read any of these and include them, but for a comprehensive list of all past winners, simply click on the link that says Caldecott Medal and Honor Books 1938 to present. And you can see here it would be easy to click on any decade and take a look at Caldecott books and simply try to include one from that particular decade. Some of these may be familiar to you depending on how much you've read in children's literature. You might certainly be familiar with Frederick by Leo Leone. You might know Swimmy, also by Leo Leone. Mr. Rabbit and the Lovely Present by the incredible Maurice Sendak. Notice here's Little Bear's Visit, also by Maurice Sendak. There are plenty of winners in the 60s and the 50s, all the way up to present time, that would be good additions to this list that you're doing of Caldecott and or winners and or honor books. If you look at each year, you'll see, for example, this is 1985 that I'm highlighting here. 1985, the winner was St. George and the Dragon, illustrated by Trina Shart-Hyman, and that there were 3 honor books: Hansel and Gretel by Paul Zelinsky, Have You Seen My Duckling by Nancy Tafuri, and The Story of Jumping Mouse by John Steptoe. Each year there will be 1 winner and 4 honor books are possible any given year. You don't have to have that many, but that's what's possible. So for this particular annotated bibliography, you can read winners, you can read honor books, you can read a combination thereof. It does not matter. All I ask is that you try to have representation from each of the last 5 decades that are going to appear on your annotated bibliography. So that's annotated bibliography number 1. Annotated bibliography number 2 has the same basic set of instructions. You're going to see these appear over and over again. What differs is the topic for this particular annotated bibliography. Annotated bibliography number 1 looked at Caldecott winners. Annotated bibliography number 2 looks at the New York Times bestseller list. And you're going to see these hints, these tips are included in each and every one. I've also included something a little bit different, and again, make sure that you read these and pay attention to what's being asked. For the New York Times, I'm asking you to note the date that the book appeared on the list at the end of the annotation. And because these books are bestsellers, I would like somewhere in that annotation for you to tell me why you think they're best-selling books. What is it that makes people want to buy these books? So for each and every one of these annotated bibliographies, I've given you tips to help you be successful at producing them. Remember that all of them are to be presented as if you were to hand them out to kids, or to give them out to parents at a parent night, or to give them to teachers to get them to look a little bit more at each and every one of these awards. And so they should all be a little bit eye-catching in terms of, gee, that's something I think I'd like to read more about, instead of just simply annotated lists of books. Annotated bibliography number 3 are the books from the Pour de Belpré list. And for the books on the Pour de Belpré list, because these are books by and about Hispanics, I'm hoping that that is part of what you will mention when you do your annotated bibliography. To find the Belpré list, simply go back to ala.org/AUSC, and you're going to see that Belpré is one of the medals that you can click on. And here are the winners for this year, as well as going back through the history of the award. The award's not been given that long, but you can see all of the past winners right here. I'm asking you to consider doing the ones that win for illustration. And the reason that I'm asking that is, if you look at the books for illustration, what you're looking at are picture books. These will read more quickly, and quite frankly, given all of the reading that you have to do for this class, I would think that that would be something you'd be interested in. However, if you want to read the medal winner for text, feel free to do so. That's totally up to you. Here are the winners for 2012, 2011, and as you scroll down, you can see going back and back and back to the first years of the award. The first year that the award was given was 1996. This is a relatively new award in the field of children's literature, but because it highlights the work of Hispanics and highlights Hispanic main characters, it certainly is one that we want to know a great deal about. So for that particular annotated bibliography, number 3, you would look at the Pour de Belpré Awards. For annotated bibliography number 4, again, what will change is the list from which you're going to pull your winners. Instead of Pour de Belpré, instead of New York Times, instead of Caldecott, this time you're going to be looking at books that come from another award-winning list. And in this case, it's the Coretta Scott King winner or honor books. The Coretta Scott King Award, if you'll remember from an earlier discussion, are books that are given to African Americans for books that contain African American characters. And once again, I'm asking you to look at the books that have won for illustration, because they're picture books, they're more appropriate to our audience, and they'll read much, much, much more quickly. Finally, annotated bibliography number 5. Once again, remember, much of the same details going to be here. APA format, alphabetical by author's last name, short annotations, and in this case your annotations are going to be on the 10 books from the Geisel Award. The Geisel Award, if you'll remember from earlier, is an award that's given for early readers. And once again, if you go back to your ala.org/ALSC, you'll find a link for the Geisel Awards. Click on it, and it will take you to this year's winners as well as the past winners too. You will have a wonderful time looking at these award winners from today and also from the past, because they are named in honor of Dr. Seuss. So they're short, easy to read, and often incredibly funny as well. If you don't know this award, if you don't know these books, this is going to be something you'll really enjoy taking a look at. So those are the subject matter books for your final annotated bibliography. So that takes you through your annotated bibliographies for the class. I'll be back in another screencast to talk to you a little bit more about textbook discussions. Thanks. Bye-bye.